Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. And it's a beautiful day for a Pirate Broadcast. And if you're here listening in, checking out the broadcast, thank you so much. I'm just humbled and appreciate your community and everybody in the conversation. And also, if you're listening on the replay, leave us comments, because we come back in and we listen to this and check in the comments and love to answer your questions. And today it's like a Voss. It's like Amanda's here and we're going to answer questions about social media and just have a casual conversation about, some of the things that are going on and what we need to focus on and how we can help you in your day-to-day activities in social media. So Amanda, what's going on?
Hey, everybody. I get super excited for live interviews, so just don't mind how crazy and animated I am. Awesome. It is 10 o'clock where I am right now, so I'm in Hamilton, Ontario. And I put on a nice shirt and put on mascara for y'all today because I've been in pajamas for 3 months.
Well, with social media and online activities, we have an opportunity to kind of not have to be in a certain place at a certain time. So tell us your backstory and how did you get into doing what you're doing now? And what's the travel and the journey that you took to get here?
Okay. Do you want the Coles notes or like the extended?
You share whatever you want to share. This is open conversation.
Okay. So, I started when I was young. I wanted to be a musician. And then I switched on. I wanted to be a photographer. And then I went to university, and it turns out that photography as a career wasn't for me. I'm definitely a hobbyist. I'm good, but I just like having fun with it.
Yeah. And
I ended up going back to St. Lawrence College, which is in Kingston, Ontario, my hometown, and I took integrated marketing communications. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I was hired at a bank. I worked there for about a year. I was hired to do marketing, but they didn't really let me. I ended up kind of taking on the position of teller, which wasn't what I wanted to do. So
it didn't really thrill you?
No, and I was a model employee, and after a year, I showed up late for 3 shifts in a row, and I got fired after having no reprimands on my record whatsoever. So I took that as kind of a sign for my subconscious to, get out of my comfort zone of here's a steady paycheck, and don't go and chase your dreams. Right. So after that, I was hired by a company in Kingston. And I was responsible for doing their social media as well as directory listing sales. I don't know if that's even a thing anymore, but listing your company on an online. So Yellow Pages moved online. Yeah. And then online moved fully to social media. So
directories are still a thing.
So. Okay. Well, that company is kind of not around anymore. So I wasn't sure if that's not something people pay for. I did that for a year and a bit, and I was transitioned into the Ottawa head office. And when I got there, I saw this gap in revenue. So I was responsible for their Facebook and Twitter, which was the only things back then, and then newsletter. And they were going out in the community and finding community events and then listing them for free on their event calendar and then blasting it out to 100,000 people between all of their channels. And I went to the CEO, I was like, can I make a revenue stream out of this? Because you're missing money here. So I, made all these packages, 4 Facebook posts for X amount plus 2 tweets plus a newsletter shout out and a banner and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I made them $100,000 in my first year. Nice. And after that, I had some of the partners that I created in the community. So say you run, Joe's Bakery, and Joe's Bakery is having a tasting event. And I reached out and I listed his tasting event on our event calendar. So after that, he was like, ooh, she's really good at social media. She was very responsive to the comments that, went on their feed about my event. She answered them. It was really quick. So some of the companies themselves reached out to me and asked if I would manage their social media on the side.
Right.
I thought that was totally fine because I was selling social posting. I wasn't writing a strategy.
Right.
And then the CEO told me it was a conflict of interest and I had signed a non-compete. And he was like, nope, you're not allowed. And then I quit. I was like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. If you're not going to let me, like kind of do some stuff on my own after what I've done for the business, then,
if I can't have a side hustle, it will be my full-time hustle.
Yeah. So, well, not quite yet at that point. I signed a few clients out of the gate, but I mean, this is 7.5 years ago now. So I clearly was not charging the proper amount of money to live off of.
Right.
And I actually ended up selling cars at Honda was my like full-time job. And then the management of social media was on the side for a few clients, and the dealership was kind of dead. So I actually did some of the work while I was getting paid to do that job.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's like the short version of it. But basically, within 6 months of, quitting my job and going out on my own, my income was fully from the business. And my first client was an hourly client. So she kind of just paid me full-time hours to do work for her while I did other work. But right now, I've got a team of 4 and we have a bunch of clients in Canada and the US, and it's my only income, and I think we're doing pretty good.
Nice. The beautiful thing about that story is, and being a musician, I can relate to. It's like, okay, I have a lot of different skills, and you have to really land on something that really, people are willing to pay for all the time on a consistent basis. The hustle and the bustle of chasing clients is part of the challenge of being an entrepreneur, and you have to dedicate some of that time from the work. And you get so busy, you go get clients, and you build relationships, and then you have clients, and then and then things evolve and things change, and you have to. It's like a machine. You have to just continually feed the machine in a way that allows you to grow and expand. And with a team now, you actually have to adopt, some larger clients and bring some other people in there so you can keep everybody busy too. So it's a balancing act, and you've done really well. And it's just amazing to watch how social media has evolved over the last 10 years. And what it's really required, because it's not a matter of if you have to be on social media, it's about how you're going to show up on social media.
Yeah, and especially with what's happening in the world right now, businesses that never thought they were going to be online have to shift their entire frame and be selling and providing services online. As where before, storefront, customers walk in, buy their stuff, that's not really a thing anymore.
Yeah, that's not really a thing. Well, and it's not going to be over. We have to deal with it right now, and we have to pivot and adopt what is going on right now. Because if it's 2 months, 10 months, 10 years, we don't know what the ending is going to look like. So we need to create opportunities right now for our business. And if you have a business that's shifting online, video, I'm an advocate for video, and video is going to be huge or continue to grow. And just things like this, conversations are going to take place just like this in business. So I want to give a shout out to some of the people that are here right now.
My favorite.
Woo! So Akil, right here, how you doing? We're doing well. And we got Craig Burney in Laguna Beach, California. We got Katri. Hi. Awesome. All over the world here. Andrew, a Canadian
donuts
guest.
And back bacon for all. I'm big on bacon, not so much the donuts.
Well, and here we were talking about Gabriel. Gabriel, how are you doing, man? We were talking about how awesome you are and everything that's going on. So, and then we got Randall and Calvin from New Orleans.
I want to go there so bad.
Yes.
The world opens up again. I'll come see it.
The world opens up again. Now, Randall is very cool. Being in social media, you'll appreciate this. He created 50 different made in the state, like made in Maine, made in Arizona, made in Colorado. My highlight sites in LinkedIn, and then he's highlighting people that create food in those states, and then building audiences around that.
So it's directory for cooks in each state ish.
No, it's more like highlighting the manufacturers of food, like Pack Bake.
Oh,
So, and then he's highlighting those manufacturers, those producers in the state. So a producer in the state of Oregon would be highlighted in the state of Oregon highlight page on LinkedIn. So then he's growing audience for that manufacturer.
okay, Randall, if you're still on, add me on LinkedIn. I kind of want to check this out.
Yeah. So like a boss. Yeah. Like a boss.
Hashtag like a boss. Yeah, so when I started the business, like a boss was like super, super trendy. And obviously my name is one letter off. I thought it was really, really cool. It's actually done well for me because it's very memorable.
Yes.
And I get a lot of compliments on it. I have had some people say like, oh, it's very juvenile or whatever. But guess what? I want to be young forever. So
yeah, it's like, okay, we're still here. Perfect.
yeah.
And then Andrew says directory sales is a perfect way to hone your skills in sales. Working through many of the no's until the yeses flow is the best beginning. So
that is true, Andrew. But I will say one thing. I don't know what it is about me as a human being. I had no sales experience whatsoever. And my brother was also working for the company at the same time. And they brought me on a sales call. And I kind of like took over the entire meeting. And at the end of it, the person was like handing me their credit card, being like, charge me. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I was just supposed to be watching. So I went back and like I had to tell my boss, like, call them and take their number because they're ready to buy. So my nickname was like the closer after one meeting. And I was very, very young at this point. So, and I hate to admit it, but like we were paid a pretty penny for commission.
Uh-huh.
So I would go out and I'd sell like 5 or 6 listings and, you know, the price point was rather high and then I'd get paid. And I'd go to the CEO and I'm like, all right, see you in a few weeks. Once I'm done having some fun, partying or whatever, when I run out of money, I'll come back and sell some more for you. He's like, all right, see ya. So that was like one whole summer. It was the best summer ever. Like so many, go to the beach every day and then like work for 2 days, sell a bunch of stuff and then screw off again.
And that's the beauty of what we do online is, you know, this idea that we have flexibility is really, you know, it's a reality if you create it that way.
Yeah.
And it's not for everyone, you know, the ups and the downs. It's, to me, the best analogy is being a musician. You know, you go play a gig and you get paid and then you got time to practice.
Yeah,
and you got,
stay drink after, sleep in tomorrow because you're probably hungover, get up at noon, go outside, get the people over for rehearsal at 5. Yeah. Now, I will say one thing though, when I was a musician, that is not the way that it was. I was classical, so clarinet and piano and theory.
Mm-hmm.
I started in grade
guitar too, right?
Pardon?
You play guitar too, don't you?
Yes, but not to the capacity of the other ones. I'm very terrible at guitar. I actually have like knowledge in clarinet and piano. Guitar, I'm like, I know the 4 like cowboy chords, ha ha ha. But I started in grade 7, and then I was in private lessons almost immediately. So I'm talking like would wake up 2 hours of practice, and then school all day, and then like an hour of practice, and then lesson, and then an hour of practice of piano. So it wasn't as like free flowing because I had milestones I had to hit. Like I did Kiwanis competition. Yeah. I had to, pass all the levels. I had to prepare my audition pieces for university, which I actually didn't end up doing. But like I was in the Kingston Youth Orchestra, which,
that's
several
cool.
people auditioned to play and the best ones get in. I played second chair clarinet and then bass clarinet. You know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was only one with the lung capacity. I was also like pretty chubby in high school. So I was like, yeah.
You got it down. It was, I played band I started playing drums when I was 11. And so I played through junior high and high school and marching band. And then I started playing clubs in bands, getting paid for it when I was 16. So, and then I played professionally for years. And I mean, some of the best years I had was when I was playing 6-7 nights a week. I was skiing during the day, and then I would get down from the slopes. I'd go change, and then go play at night. And it's like, this is pretty good.
Yeah, this is the life right here. Like,
this is the life. I was getting paid good money too, so it was awesome. And I think of social media and online activities right now as kind of being this create your own activity, create your own outcome kind of job or, activity where you can earn money. And it's really, you've created a niche for yourself. You got 4 people working for you. You got social media clients that they know they need it. They know they need to have a presence online. They know they need to grow into it. So what are some of the challenges that you see clients working through that you've been able to help them, master along their journey?
That's a great question. It really depends on the client. So it's funny because I'll get email inquiries and they say like, how much do you charge? And I was told by a business coach many years ago that, you should be putting your prices on your website so that people know what your price point is and they're not scared when you send them a proposal with X amount of money. Right. So I threw some like packages on the website and put dollar amounts beside them, right? But the difference between what my company does and then so many others out there is there's not a blanket strategy that works for everyone. So, there's some companies who are like, we'll post 3 times on Facebook, 3 times on Instagram, 2 times on Twitter, blah, 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 blah. And well, what if the company doesn't make sense for them to be on Twitter? What if they need to be posting on Facebook 5 times a week? And, so the challenges are unique depending on what the client wants to achieve through social media. Do you want to generate sales? Do you want to, establish yourself as an influencer? Do you want to drive traffic to your website, into your funnel? And
each outcome has a different strategy.
Exactly. So we have a very, very particular discovery session that each potential client goes through where we ask like 14 different questions. And like through the answers to those questions, we uncover the best way to help them. And every single strategy is different. I'm not even doing the same thing for any 2 clients that we have right now. On top of it, we can also discover that maybe you're not a fit for full management outsourced to a company. Maybe you need some lessons. And that was my pivot with the business through COVID is the sales have gone down for most businesses. And especially if they're just transitioning into online sales, they don't have the money to pay me because I'm not charging like $100 a month like I was when I was, 2 weeks in, right? I cost money.
I needed beer money. That's all I needed.
I have a team to support. I have bills to pay. I have software programs for the business. I have an accountant. Like there's costs. So I can just charge you nothing. So what I've done is, instead of $1,000 a month service fee, hire, buy 5 hours of my time. Yeah. Right. It'll be like a little bit larger upfront investment because my hourly is not low. But once the lessons are done, you can take all the knowledge that you learned and then apply it to your own channels and not have to pay anyone else to do it. Now, there's the rare occasion where they go through a lesson and during the lesson, they're like, holy F, I don't want to do this. Let me just pay you and send me a proposal and you do it. So that's kind of like the ultimate
It's like
goal.
when their eyes go glossy and they're like, oh no, what have I done? I don't realize it was this challenging. It's like,
that's the ultimate, like being completely honest. I want to put you through a social media lesson and I want you to be like, oh, God damn, I don't want to do this. Can you just do it for me and hire me? It's only happened once because a lot of the people that I'm doing lessons with are musicians. Actually, so Relyea-Voss caters to B2B and B2C clients. I actually opened up a second business under the Relyea-Voss umbrella, I think almost 2 years ago. It's called Remix. And we're dedicated solely to helping musicians with social media. So this is my passion project. Okay. And I wanted to open it at the beginning, but basically what the business coach said was, do B2B and B2C and get your big paying clients and then use the money that they're paying you to start your second business. And you don't have to charge as much because musicians really can't afford $1,000 a month for social media, especially indie.
And then you can help them out and help them grow and watch them succeed.
And like the lessons that I've gone through, like the light bulb goes off. I have some star students who are just killing it now. Like their content is unreal and they're literally taking every single thing that I taught them and applying it every single day. That
is fantastic. So Amanda, what would you say if we could do one thing to improve social media right now? I mean, every every platform has its own personality. And, you know, like LinkedIn is not Facebook, and Facebook is not Instagram, and Instagram is not TikTok. And there's a lot of things that I see. I'm not going to call them mistakes, because, you know, it's like we're all experimenting with our content here. And content creation, there's two things that I always tell people with content creation: get started and be consistent.
Yeah.
Even if you're putting out content that is, you know, it's like you try to create something that is unique to you. So it's kind of branded, and it's unusual. And it's really personality wise. I like the personality in the posts, right? So what are some other things that you've noticed that people can actually achieve with their social media? You know, some real hard tips that are really something that you notice all the time, and it's like, oh, I wish they wouldn't do that. Sticks out in your mind?
Yeah, don't cross post the same post on every single channel. Totally wrong. Don't ever do that. I don't want to see a hashtag cloud on Facebook with an @ handle that's not tagged properly to the Facebook page associated with the business you're talking about.
Explain that deeper, because I want to make sure that people understand it.
Okay, so sometimes because Facebook is owned, or Instagram's owned by Facebook, so you can connect them, right? And in your Instagram account, you can, when the pages are connected, you can say post to Facebook. So I'm writing a really great Instagram post, and I put my hashtag cloud in, and it's all good. And then I press send, and the exact same post gets sent to my Facebook page, and like the hashtag cloud is there, the ... spacer is there, the big, or the @ tag, which works on Instagram, doesn't translate to Facebook.
It doesn't go to Facebook.
So you're looking at Facebook and someone's like Mandy Relyea. I'm like, what? Like who are you talking about? Because I can't click through to find it.
Yeah.
And like the CTAs for Instagram are different than the CTAs for Facebook. Call to action. Yeah. So on Facebook, you say like, click the link below, or click here and put the link in. Instagram doesn't have the ability, like if you put a link in your caption, it's not going anywhere, it's dead. There's no linking in Instagram. So dead what you do is you either, get to the point in your post and there's actually no call to action, you're sharing something, or the, link in bio, right? Click the link in bio, up, or below if you're on a story or whatever. Yeah.
So I know a lot of people use Linktree, or a tool that So it's just like one of those things that you can actually expand the information in that link to some useful links, some more useful, productive links.
Yeah. So online I have, I went on my Instagram this morning. I was like, okay, so I'm doing a live podcast interview. Come ask me embarrassing questions and make me blush. And I just put it at the very top. I'm like, it'll be at the top. It's like Mandy's live podcast interview. They click and they go, but underneath there's a bunch of other content that they can see.
I use FYI.to for some of that sharing information as well. So Rodrigo, who's active on LinkedIn, shout out to Rodrigo on FYI.to. So
I'll check it out.
Yeah, check it out. It's awesome. So I want to come back in here. There's some people here that are really in the room. Questions. So we got. Are you a pirate? Yes.
So I was gonna wear my Pirates of the Caribbean medallion thing, and then I thought, if my mom or my boyfriend was on and saw, they'd probably tease me after. So I just put on a normal necklace. But I am a huge pirate fan.
Awesome. Don is here. Thank you. Hi. Music is the door to the soul.
That is true. Or window to the soul is, as I know the saying.
Yes. Yeah. Craig is Bernie. The thing about the pirate community, Amanda, is that everybody talks with each other in the comments.
Yeah, so I'm noticing that. I see my eyes dart over. I'm like, ooh, what they saying? Part of this conversation.
Lewis is a musician. He's like on Spotify. He has lots of great tracks on there. Lewis, thank you so much for stopping in. I love it. I love the message and conversation. Two pretty awesome people. Thanks, Gabriel. And then finally, a social media provider who bases her work on a strategic plan, seeking an outcome instead of blindly growing traffic without a goal in mind, besides volume of hits and views. Strategery.
Oh, yay. Thanks, Andrew.
Andrew. Yes, have a strategy in mind. Good morning, Pirates. And Angie. Howard is saying, question, when you were small, what is the best way to optimize? Focus on a single platform with frequent content interaction really well, or have a broader strategy across platforms?
So when you're small, the first one there, so you're going to want to choose the best platform for your goals. So what are your key performance indicators with social media? What are you trying to achieve? And then which platform is going to help you achieve that? Howard, if you want to add me on LinkedIn and just send me like a little note about what your goals are, I can give you some recommendations and like look into your
Connect with Amanda. Tell her Russ sent you. Tell her, hey, you're a pirate. Russ sent me. And then she'll know that you're there. I also want to suggest, Howard, that, if you could pick a platform where your audience is hanging out and already having conversations, it's a good strategy. So, do you think do you agree, Amanda?
Yeah, 100%. So basically what I would do if Howard reaches out to me and says, this is my business, this is my goals, I would basically find out, okay, what's his target market and where are they? And then you write the strategy for that platform based on where you know they're going to be. Like that's how targeting works on Facebook. You set up your ad and then you're like, okay, send this ad to anyone who likes Oprah's Facebook page because Oprah fans are my target market, right? Basic marketing 101.
Yeah. And Debbie Williams said, hi, Russ and Amanda, really enjoying this. Debbie from West Palm Beach, Florida. Staying safe in my Debbie King.
Hi, Debbie. Which house in Florida?
Fantastic. A fellow pirate. Yes, Debbie's a fellow pirate. She's awesome. Slap tags. Thank you so much. Shout out to the pirate crew. Grant's a pirate. Amanda, what is the best tip for growing your Instagram following with the 2020 algorithm? That's a great question.
That's a really great question.
Yeah, let's.
Oh my God, we can talk about this for a long, long time. It really depends on what is the goal for. Like, are you just trying to get followers, or are you trying to get engagement? The best strategy for organic follower increase is actually doing outwards engagement with other accounts. So if you just sit back and post and think people are going to come to you, that's not reality. You've got to be out there trying to find your people and showing them where you are. So like for all of my clients, my team spends at least 1 hour a week literally searching the key hashtags that have to do with that client's target audience, finding their account and engaging with their content. Oh, hey, that's a really nice dress. And you sell dresses, right? Or you're an eco-conscious person and you find, a corp rated B in Canada, and you're like, oh wow, I love that you're, the full circle production model. Like, so beating the algorithm isn't really the thing. However, I will say, tone it down with the hashtags. So like a year ago, they say max out with the 30. Now it's more like 15. And make sure they're really, really targeted. Don't use hashtags that have like over 1 million people in the category because you're just going to be drowned out. There's no way anyone's going to find you with that. So keep your hashtag into a smaller number and a lot of outward engagement to get on people's radar.
I know that this has changed over the years too. What's your experience with a number of posts per day, per week, frequency? Because I know that engagement always wins. That's my rule of thumb is engagement always wins on any of the platforms. The more engaged you are, the more engagement you receive, and that opens up the doors to opportunities and more conversations you can start. I literally, Amanda, one time I did a website project, a complete website project, start to finish, got paid, everything, over Instagram DMs.
Fuck yeah! I mean, shoot, sorry.
I just thought, I think it's like a use case. I think it's perfect. It's like, okay. And they're still a client. So it's like, hey.
That's awesome. So, okay, well, you asked the number of posts. So that's not really what it's about. It's not about the number of posts. It's about the quality of the content. So if you're putting out one really stellar piece of content every week and your audience knows that piece of content's coming on Friday and they're looking forward to it, you're probably going to get way more engagement than someone that's throwing out, 10 shitty pieces of content a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like before. It's like, okay, like how many do you have to have? And it's all about numbers and whatever. Like the shift is actually not about numbers. It's about quality.
Yeah.
And if you listen to like keynote speeches on, like how to win the war for attention, it's always like find what makes you unique and tell your story.
Yeah.
It's not a cookie cutter. Like if you're a realtor, don't just post pictures of your houses. That's boring. One of the most popular Instagram realtors is her feed looks like junk. And her entire thing is she posts photos of random shit she finds in houses when they're supposed to be empty. And then her with pictures of cats. And they're not professional and they're not like, well done and well lit and they don't look pretty. But like she's got a shit ton of followers because she's found a niche of people that are like, oh, this is really neat. I want to see what she found in the latest house. And
so random. It's so random.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. It's crazy. So I love that question. Amanda, this has been so fun. I really appreciate I could talk social media all day long because it's just so many dimensions to it. And compared to what it was 3 years ago, 5 years ago, it's always evolving, it's always changing, it's always brand new every day. And so are there any words of wisdom that you want to leave with the pirate community today that would allow you to make an impact and legacy on the show today? So.
Oh, well, my business legacy is not my legacy. So I actually looked at your site and you have some products for sale. So my whole thing is kindness. I just want everyone to look back and be like, oh, she was so kind. She was so nice. That's my thing. I just put kindness above all else. When it comes to social media, be authentic, be yourself. There's no one else that is you. And that's how you're going to make a difference. Don't try to be like so-and-so over here. Just be real. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to not be perfect. If you're having a shit day, don't say you're having a great day. Say you're having a shit day.
Having a shit day.
Yeah, let the realness of your brand show through.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I truly appreciate the fact that you're here, and I'm so glad that we got to connect. And we were talking about Gabriel, and Gabriel is an awesome individual that is doing much the same thing I'm doing at night. He has a show at 5 p.m. my time, Pacific Standard Time. And it's just this whole community, this whole idea of being able to make connections and having conversations like this is so important to me. And I know that there's a lot of people that appreciate it. And it doesn't have to be 1 million people. It could be, it doesn't matter what the number is. It just has to make a difference in somebody's life. And go out.
One person.
One person. Yes. And so thank you so much. I know that we'll probably cross paths again, and let's connect you with Randall, because Randall is doing something unique on Instagram or LinkedIn. And I think that he has a live feed as well. And so you could probably go talk to him and rally some people on some food products over there. So
I would love to I love these lives. They're so much better than the other ones. I was having a talk with a podcast host who won a contest. I gave away a 1 hour social media lesson. And he's like, where do you think the future podcast is? I'm like, live, because we're all stuck at home and we're bored. And the people that are like watching, I can like, oh, hey, Grant, hey, Angie. And like, they're like, oh my God, she's talking to me. It's real. Whoa. Instead of like pre-recorded and like fabricated stuff.
Well, I have to mention, because right now this thing is being streamed on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and LinkedIn Live, right?
Yeah.
4 platforms. And so one of the themes I have is broadcast in the morning, podcast in the afternoon, because it's converted. The audio is converted into a podcast.
Yeah.
And then distributed. So iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, all of the podcast platforms. Yeah. So when there is a piece of repurposing content, and it's not.
That's a whole other conversation.
That's a whole other conversation. However, by the end of the day, I have the transcription, the podcast, the broadcast, and the post up on my website. So
Yeah.
It's to me, I built this system, and that's the whole point of the Pirate Syndicate. So building a system out that I can produce shows for other people to allow them to share their gift. So that's the whole purpose of the Pirate Broadcast. So
Warren on Facebook, the power of one. Yes.
The power of one. Yes, the power of one. Thank you, Angie. And then there you go, Warren. Hey, Amanda, I know it's time. This went by so quickly. So I appreciate the fact that you're here. Stay safe and sane, everyone, and know that kindness is cool, smiles are free, and you enjoy the day. Take care.
Bye, buddy.
Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate today.